Hello everyone, Zach D here, coming at you with another video. Now you may have heard me mention this before in my top albums of 2015 video, but going into 2016 I was wondering what albums were going to be coming out this year. And I know I have mentioned before that Linkin Park and Dead by April are making albums this year. And I gotta say, I'm pretty excited for them. I'm pretty excited to see what these bands are going to do next. And I also know that the band Red is making a 10th anniversary edition for End of Silence, which it does make sense for them to do because the album is like 10 years old now and it is their first release. It's crazy to think about though because not too many bands do make a 10th anniversary for their first album. But I am, however, excited for the 10th anniversary because Red is one of my favorite bands. And I know some people not even may be excited for the End of Silence Anniversary Edition. And that may be because some people really don't know what it is, and maybe some people just think it's just a remastered version of End of Silence, kind of like how Red released a recalibrated version for Release the Panic. But I do gotta say, even though I'm not a big fan of Release the Panic, I think it is a good comparison. Because there is going to be a new song included with the End of Silence Anniversary, just like how Run and Escape was a kind of like a new song to the recalibrated EP or whatever. But I do got questions about the new song, like was it an original recorded song that was supposed to be on the album 10 years ago, or is it just something brand new that they're just going to put as a bonus on this anniversary edition? I'm not sure, but I think either way it would be pretty cool. And I do believe there is going to be the original recorded songs from the original End of Silence CD on the anniversary edition. And I know that may not seem much to people, but to me, that seems really cool. Because I gotta compare it to the band As I Lay Dying, because they released a Long March CD that sounds kind of similar to what Red is doing. And if you guys don't know what As I Lay Dying is, it's pretty much a it's pretty much a metalcore band, and they released a CD called A Long March that included their first album, plus like a little EP and some originally recorded songs that were never released and all that. And I do really like that CD by As I Lay Dying. So in that case, I know that End of Silence Anniversary will be just great. And I don't know, I have a feeling that the sales on End of Silence Anniversary will be more high likely than Beauty and Rage ever did. And I know that's insane to think about, but if you really think about it, a lot of people really never heard of Beauty and Rage, even Red fans, when the album was released. And I can guarantee every Red fan has heard of End of Silence. I mean, if they haven't, then I guess they're not true Red fans. And the title End of Silence will be familiar to any Red fan, and they'll respond to that either, well, I guess mostly positively, because I think End of Silence is definitely the most popular Red album, and it is definitely one of my favorites, personally. Overall, I'm pretty excited for End of Silence Anniversary. I don't think it'll be disappointing, so that's one remake album that I'm looking forward to. So the next band I want to talk about is Linkin Park. So, in case of some of you haven't known yet, I do believe Linkin Park is working on a new album, and this is definitely one of my number one hyped albums this year. Because I am a big Linkin Park fan, and I do have all of their albums. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. Then again, I'm kind of worried about it. And the reason that I'm worried about it is because I'm afraid it's going to be like another Living Things or Hunting Party or whatever. And not that they are bad albums, I do think they are pretty good albums. But honestly, I really don't want a Living Things Part 2 or even a Hunting Party Part 2. I would much rather have like a Hybrid Theory Part 2 or a Meteora Part 2. With that being said, I think they should go back to the good old hard rock style. I don't know. I don't think they'll go back to that technical style like they did in Thousand Suns and Living Things, because I do think they're going back to the hard rock style. I think they kind of established that when they released the Hunting Party. So in that case, I do believe there is high hopes for the new album. But yeah, this is definitely an album that I'm looking forward to. Next band, Dead by April. Now this is another one that I'm really excited about. I definitely think this is gonna be one of their best albums, if not their best album. And why do I think it's gonna be one of their best? Well, I'll tell you why. Well, I'm sure a lot of you Dead by April fans know what happened, I think, like, late 2014. But if you don't, Xandro, he was the lead singer at the time, but he left the band. And, he was replaced by Pontus, who was the lead vocalist of the time, during their first album. And I think that's what made their first album really great. So, yeah, and I will gladly say that I do believe this next album will be like the first album part 2 or something. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm pretty pumped about it. Unfortunately, Jimmy Strimmel is still out of the Dead by April pick. So basically, it's gonna be Pontus on guitars and singing again, and Christopher Anderson, I think his name is still gonna be doing the scream vocals. This is like a dream come true because I remember shortly after Let the World Know came out, I was thinking how cool it would be if Pontus sang again and Christopher Anderson was doing the scream vocal. And then when I heard that this happened, man, this is like one of the best things that has ever happened to a band. And their past 2 albums, Incomparable and Let the World Know, were kinda but I do gotta say, I much prefer Let the World Know than Incomparable. I did not care for Incomparable at all, personally. So yeah, this is gonna be Dead by April's 4th album, so yeah. And if you're a Dead by April fan and you've been kind of disappointed with Dead by April lately, you know, like me, how Incomparable wasn't that good and Let the World Know was kind of I would definitely look into the new album because the way this is sounding and the way that it's looking, it is most likely going to be like their first album. And I know there are some songs, like some teasers for songs that are out now you can check out too. They do sound pretty good, I gotta say. The only complaint that I have with the new song teasers is that we are yet to hear some scream vocals, which is kind of sad, and it makes me think that this album is not going to be as heavy as their past albums. Although I do think obviously there are going to be some scream vocals in this album, otherwise there would be no point in Anderson being in the band, I guess. But yes, obviously there is a reason Christopher Anderson is still in the band, so I do believe there is going to be some scream vocal. Although there are some good songs by Dead by April that don't have screaming, but I do think they should just stick to their style, you know, with the screaming. And I do think Pontus is a good vocalist, and Christopher Anderson is a good scream vocalist, so I think together they can make this album sound really good. So yeah, definitely another album that I'm looking forward to. I'm getting kind of iffy about it, but the way that it's sounding, it sounds really good. But yeah, definitely another album that I'm excited for. Can't wait for it. Overall, that kind of finished this video, I guess. This is just basically the top 3 albums that I'm looking forward to, I guess. But yeah, definitely looking forward to all of these. Are you guys excited for these albums? Leave it down in the comments if you are. And be sure to subscribe too. So, I don't know, do you guys have anything to say about these upcoming albums? Any questions or anything that could relate to them? I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited for them. Well, thank you all for watching. I guess I'll see you all later.